Hey everybody, my name is Adrian Trent and I'm happy to be the first vendor spotlight of today. I'm going to switch to my screen share. I want to use the next few minutes to talk about a data-centric mindset in a context of an enterprise data catalog and also in the context of user interfaces, or in other words, JavaScript, JavaScript, JavaScript. First few words about us. We are a data-centric company based in Switzerland. We have a global team in Europe, US, and Southeast Asia. But today I want to talk about one of our clients and one of the products we built for them. This particular client is a large Swiss insurance company. And as probably many of you, this company has data. Actually, they have really a lot of data. And one of the main questions they have with this data is where exactly is a particular piece of information stored? And if they actually find it, the next question is how it is connected. And I think after the presentation from Dave McComb, you all see where this is coming from. This is due to the fact that we have a data-centric, application-centric landscape and not yet a data-centric one. So one of the questions they were asking us is like, how can we connect these different application-centric silos and build something data-centric? And that's what they can do now. They can connect the dots of their data universe with what we call Zazuko Flux. It's our approach of a data-centric enterprise data catalog. And I think this is best explained by having a short demo video.
Hey Michael, how is it going? I just had a call with Tim. He wants to know if the changes we rolled out during the last 6 months had the positive effect on customer satisfaction that we expected. I heard we have this data catalog. Can we dig into it and see what we find out about customer feedback?
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look and see what we find there. Okay, I see that we have a quality management team, and apparently they are responsible for handling customer feedbacks as well. Let us check that out. So I see here that Lucy Garcia is the team lead. I think we should contact Lucy and ask her. I'm sure she will be able to tell us more about the feedback management.
Sounds like a good place to start. Do you also see something related to what we have in data?
Yeah, let's have a look at the other search results that we got. So here I see that we have 3 different types of feedbacks that we store. We have customer feedback received after consultation with the customer. We have feedback coming in over social media. And we have a third one. We have feedback that we receive after completion of claim settlement.
I think Tim talked about the last one. Could we see details of the claim settlement feedback?
So what I see here is that the claim settlement feedback is part of the customer data domain. And Stephen Green is the owner of the customer data domain. Let's see what else we see here. We get the contact information of Stephen. And I also see that we have customer contact information in there and the 3 types of feedbacks that we saw. It's apparently all part of the customer data domain. So I think it's a good idea to talk to Stephen and see what he can tell us about the feedback that we store.
Sounds like a good contact point. Could we dive into the claim settlement feedback and see what we have in there from a data perspective?
Yeah, sure, let's do that. So I see here that the schema that implements the claim settlement feedback only has 2 tables. Let me expand that to see a little bit more. I think the feedback table is the main one. I see that there's a rating stored in there. So it should be possible to analyze how the rating developed over time.
That sounds exactly like what Tim is looking for. Perfect.
Now I wonder what platform this is on. Oh, it's on Postgres. That makes it easy.
I will talk to the team lead and see how we can get access to that.
I wonder now where the other feedbacks are stored, if they're also on Postgres or on other platforms. Let us check that out. Cool thing about the catalog is that we can also break out and just run queries on the data. So let's do that and check.
So what you've seen here is what we call a fluid data catalog for a data-centric enterprise. This is built on an emergent content model, and I think I don't have to explain to you that this is obviously RDF and graph-based. And this allows us to integrate and connect whatever is actually of interest and value to your enterprise. And the shape doesn't really matter. So this could be relational tables, CSV files, Excel files, APIs, whatever you have in your company. You can integrate it, you can connect these things, you can put the knowledge of your employees into the data catalog. If you can describe it in a data-centric way, in a graph, it can be integrated and your users can explore it. Another really nice thing, and that's also one of the features Dave showed in the first presentation, you can spread the data-centric vibe with federated and decentralized data suppliers. So you could actually let the data owners, the SQL administrators, the API providers in your company provide the data catalog as well. We believe that the network is smartest at the edges, and that's also true for the data itself. You have the most accurate data in the system where you actually curate and maintain it. So why not get the data there directly instead of putting it into one centralized system, which will always be out of date. For the users, they get this kind of self-service catalog, and they can explore what you have in this data. You could also imagine that you could use additional features of the RDF stack, like reasoning or inference, to find out indirect links in your data. But as you've seen before, you can really explore the edges and try to find out over how many hops some data is related with some other data. There's a lot more you can do. You can talk to me after this presentation if you would like to know more. One last thing, when we build such a front end, you also want to be able to exchange specialized views. You want to dive into a detail and you want to have a detailed view of whatever you want to have a look at. And for that, we provide a lot of open source data-centric JavaScript libraries for developers. We believe that when you want to really harness the power of this data model, you also need to have the agile way in the user interface. So having a hardwired user interface doesn't work for us. You really need to be able to explore the data-centric view of your data as a developer as well, and then bring it to the user interface, to the end user of this information. Another thing we do is we provide domain-specific languages where it makes sense. As one example, we have a domain-specific language for mapping non-RDF data to RDF. So the users can write a real simple language, and they can use the power of auto-completion in tools like Eclipse, Visual Studio Code, or the new upcoming web-based development environments. You can maintain the mappings in code. You can handle it like code with version control. You don't have to do everything in a user interface. I think this is also a sweet spot for some developers when you don't want to go the whole way and build specific user interfaces for mappings. We do a lot more, but I would like to close with a statement from singer and songwriter Amanda Palmer. She basically, in my opinion, describes what a data-centric data catalog in a company should do, even though she definitely never said this statement in the context of a data-centric IT thing. Collecting the dots, then connecting them, and then sharing the connections with those around you. This is how a creative human works: collecting, connecting, sharing. And with that, I am done with our presentation. You can find us in the vendor rooms directly after this session, and you can obviously contact me on chat anytime we are around during our conference. Thank you very much. See you there.